come. We are about to start. Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to my channel. So today I said we should do something a little bit different. I have been having this in mind, but coming out is actually been a little bit difficult. So I said today, what the heck, I should go ahead and start it. So we are discussing romance novel while we are doing makeup. So if it's something you would like to see, do keep on. There are some days I like historical romance, like there are some days I like erotic, there are some days I like adventure. Yeah, it depends on the mood. Actually, it depends on my mood or how I'm feeling that day. And background on how I started reading romance novel. I was actually a lonely child while I was growing up. I lived with my grandma. Yeah, so rest in peace. And you know, while living with grandma, you have other relatives are not actually your age. So I lived with her, and it was a very big compound with only us in it. There was no tenants, and the compound was fenced. And I wasn't allowed to go outside to play with other children. And book was actually an escape. Like I needed something to escape into because the boredom was, you hear children playing outside, you just be on the window looking, but you can't go outside. If you have such background, comment so in the comment section. So why I even discovered, like why I even know how to, I'm interested in novels was because my aunt that was living with us, she loved reading novels, but hers was mystery kind of murder mystery kind of novels, but she actually reads romance too. So when I see her, and I was not one of those children that was that brilliant when I was small, so I didn't know how to read quite early. So when she brings those novels, I will look at the cover, very beautiful. I say, oh, if I know how to read, I would read all this, I'll read this, I'll read this. So when I knew how to read, I could read any and everything. Like, you know, when you discovered a new toy, that is how I was when I knew how to read. I could walk on the road and see a signboard, I'll stop and read it. I'll see a piece of paper, I'll pick it and read. I'll see, like, it was like I've discovered a new area when I knew how to read. And coupled with the fact that my aunt, when she's around, when she's not in school, she brings home novels. I'll steal it and I'll be reading it. When she's coming, I'll hide it. Oh my goodness. When she's coming, I'll hide it because, like, I was actually very small to read such content and I knew it was wrong. So when I saw her, I'll hide it. I'll pretend as if I was not reading it. I read almost every book in the house until one book that changed my life. Oh, by Chancellor Shaw, The Secretary Mistress. Oh my goodness, that book. And surprisingly, my auntie kept it because I shared the same room with her that time. She kept it, like she was reading it, she kept it and slept off. When she slept off, I carried the note, the lamp that was there, I increased it a little bit and read it throughout the night. Like, once I started reading that book, I could not drop it until I finished it because I know that the next morning she will carry it to school and she might not return with it. So that book, my goodness, actually changed my life. So I became a novel freak. Any person I see with a novel, I will beg. And I had like a book dedicated to writing all the names of the novels I have ever read. Where is that book? To dedicate, look at it. I had every novel that I read until I got tired of the practice and I stopped. Like, I'll write it down, like this one, Forbidden Passion, The Red Hot Cajun, The Hard Lessons, Highland Destiny, The Beggar Strike, Hollywood Husband Contract Wife, White Dragon. Like, I read everything. Is it erotic, historical, all the gen? I read everything until I narrow it down to only those that have romance in them. That's my preference right now. It's like the most intense book I've ever read. Like, it was Silver Angel. I'm trying to see the name of the author. Silver Angel. Silver Angel by Johanna Lindsay. I will include the copy here for you. That book was something else. So as I was saying, the book was centered this English girl. She had a rich parent, right? But she lost both parents and she was an only child. So the estate transferred to her uncle. The uncle was supposed to hold it in trust for her until she reached a certain age. But most like all the Cinderella stories, the uncle's wife was actually very greedy. They now made her to be doing all the chores in the house. Like, she turned to a slave in her own house. So when she could not hold it, she could not like stay anymore. She made plans to run away. And she lived close to the harbor. She knew of a ship that was coming, that she said she will escape through the ship. She will run away through the ship to another country. And unbeknown to her, that same night, this Arabian king sent some of his people to come and inform the brother of what is happening in his kingdom, the twin brother. But people did not know that they were twin, the king and this king. Let me go back to the beginning of the story from this other angle. There was a king that kidnapped an English girl 30-something years ago, and this English girl became his wife. He made her his wife. So she bore him 2 sons that they were twin. When he bore him 2 sons, since she was in love with her now husband, she said she could not go back, but the father was alone in England. So he begged the king to send one of the child to the father, since he had a son. Like, one of them, the first one will be the heir, the other one is the spare. So she sent the spare to the father in England, because the father had no other heir, had no other child except her. So when they later sent this one to England, that is now an Englishman, they brought him up, but he knows that he had a brother because they always share correspondence. So when the brother in the desert kingdom had an issue, so he wanted to swipe place with the brother. So he now sent a ship to come and get the brother. So that same night is when this girl was running away. So when those ship people, like, they saw the girl, they thought, we have a slave now, we will now sell her and make like extra money. So they now captured the girl and they carried the brother too down there. No, they did not. That was not when the brother came, followed the ship, but he did not follow the one that captured the girl. So this king when they were going, the girl refused captivity. She said she either died than be a slave. So she tried jumping into the river, tried escaping. She could not. So the slave people were saying, wow, this one is a fairy one, and she was very beautiful. They said they will make a very big profit out of her. Nobody should sleep with her because she was a virgin. So they now kept her, fed her. They did not touch her skin, like they did not beat her so that they will not melt the skin and all that. They kept her so that like her value will not diminish. So they kept her at high standard. So when they got to the Arab country, the Arab country, they have like a slave market. So they now auction others. They refuse to auction her. They see that one, they will like give it as a gift to a high profile person so that they will gain favor from that person. So she was actually kept because she was beautiful and she was a virgin. So you know, the Arab men, they like virginity, as that book implies. So they now kept her. When the king, the said brother, the one that was brought up from by the father. When, because the brother was coming, so he wanted purchasing more women for his harem so that the brother will not sleep through. And I'm talking about the real king here. So they brought the English girl, presented to the king, and since she was what, 30, I'll write the word. The king liked her. He said, like, okay, he did not like her for himself because he liked obedient people, but he said like maybe the brother would prefer this one since she's English too, so they will be able to communicate and all. So he purchased her for the harem. I hope that's how it's pronounced. So after purchasing her, after that scene, the next one, the brother had arrived the country. So he met the brother in private and told the brother about the threat to his life, that it was getting serious these days, that he had to have something done about it. So he was going after the rebellious leader, like the person that was in charge of the rebellion. He's going to look for the person himself. So the brother was trying to tell him, no, I should go and look for the person. The English brother was telling him no. So the king was saying no, that nobody will know that we have swapped places and I know the terrain very well, so it will be easier for me to go. You just have to pretend to be me for this couple of times until this issue is settled. So the brother now, the next day, the brother, since the brother was not having like beard on, he had to scrape his own beard and had dinner with all his women, his Arab women, so that they will be accustomed to his clean shaven face. So after that, he went on looking for who, like the rebellion leader. So his brother, the Englishman, now assumed the position of the king. So he now had the women paraded. Okay, like the harem keeper now told the brother, told him about the women he purchased. So, and the brother too didn't want to sleep with any woman the brother slept with. So he now, since she purchased 2 persons, yeah, there were 2. So he now ordered the English girl to his chamber when she for dinner. So their first meeting, the girl blandly refused sleeping with him, calling names and all, and left. Okay, before then they pampered the girl. There was so much pampering. She had a bath. She had, what did they call that, this thing, like they clean her private parts, like they cut off the hair and all those, like preparing her for the master. So when she went for dinner, she defied the king, which was unheard of. People were like, oh, you challenge the king, you challenge the king. So the king's mother, since she was the one in charge of the harem, she was outraged. How dare you, how dare you. Everybody was like, how dare you. Because of that, you will not be the king. I know that the king will not want you anymore. So you will now be your duty now will be to the kitchen. You will now be assisting people in the kitchen. You watch all the dirty plates in the kitchen. You will do like that. She turned to a kitchen duty. She did not actually care. She said she liked it. It's better than pouring herself to the king. So after that scene, the next one, since the king was so busy, the king now in passing called her his favorite. Everybody like, because there, being the king's favorite was actually a very big thing. Like everybody will worship you because you have the ear of the king. So you be like very special. You have a special room as the king's favorite and all that. So when the king called him her favorite, the mother and everybody were confused because they had punished her on behalf of the king. So everybody was told, what do we do? What do we do? They now brought her out gave her a spa day again, because the king said he wanted seeing her that evening. Gave her a spa day. After that, when she went eating with the king, they attempted assassinating the king then, and she helped the king. So they didn't really, okay, she now told the king her story, how she got here. So the king was actually feeling bad that it's because of him, that's why she's actually there. Because if the brother did not send for him, she's still be in England right now. So when we were having dinner, okay, after dinner, the assassin came again, tried like killing the king. So she helped the king. The thing caused an uproar. She was now very close to the. So that same night, the king took her virginity. That same night of the attempted assassination, the king took her virginity, and she actually got very close to the king. Like during the stay, during him impersonating the brother, that was the only woman he ever sent for, because he was feeling bad. He did not want to sleep with the brother's wives. So they were now looking for investigating who is trying to kill the king. So everybody had their own theories. You see, it was the rebellion, it was this, it was that. But it's still the same girl that will uncover who killed the king. So one day she was having a shower. She heard a conversation with one of the Arab women, telling the person she was having the conversation with, this time don't fail me, make sure he dies. So when she had that conversation, she said, who is planning to kill who? So she started with her maid, started investigating that lady. So when they put up a search, they should search everybody, because she told the king too. They said you search everybody, everybody chambers in the Arab, because they tried killing her too, like in the pole. So the king, since she was the king's favorite now, so they now were searching. They now saw, okay, she heard the voice of the person that was speaking before, like, make sure this time you will not fail me. She heard the voice of the person, so she said that, okay, you are the one that killed. Like, she confronted the person when nobody was around. So she said, you are the one that is trying to kill the king. What has he done to you? So the girl was now saying that the king deserves it, that the king always beats her before sex. Like, the king humiliates her, beats her before having sex with her. So the king had to die. That is her own verdict. So they fought at the pole, and she disarmed the girl because the girl had a weapon. She disarmed the girl, and the girl was later arrested. And then the brother now came back. Since the murder day scene was resolved, the brother had to come back. So they had a chat with the English brother. So the English brother now asked him, what will you do to your slave, your favorite? He laughed and said he will carry her back to England. Maybe she will be his mistress while he get married to his childhood sweetheart. So the girl was thinking, now that she has helped the king, that she will be free, they will free her. So they put her on the ship. On the way back, that's when she discovered that this man wants her to be his mistress. I continue being his mistress, and she refused to be his mistress. So when they got to England, there was a fight because the fiancé in England asked, who is she? He now told her one story, and this is fiancé in England had a different man that she was in love with. So the girl now resolved it and they got married and lived happily ever after. Before then, they now confronted her uncle. So that was the first book I ever loved. The Silver Angel, it's a very good book, but you know, it's a work of fiction, right? And the setting, the everything, because I read the reviews, the Muslim sisters were actually very angry about the barbaricness of the whole book, but I think it's a work of fiction. The author is allowed to portray any picture she wants to, because it's fiction. We that are reading, we know it's fiction. We can't associate that with any living person. Another novel I actually loved while growing up was Chantila Shaw novels. Like, that woman is gifted. Another novel I liked while growing up was Across the Dark Wine Sea. I don't know, I've forgotten the author of this novel, but that novel was good. So I've read like hundreds. I think this recent one I'm reading now is a series. Is it the Solar series? I'll share it with you guys next week. You guys should go and check it out. The Solar series. Bye. I'll put the name in this. I'll put the name on the screen when I remember. When I'm editing this. So you tell me the kind of romance novel you like reading, because there are different romance novels, millions of them, and those noises you have been hearing since, that was the fan noise. Sorry, I cannot off it. I need air. Like, this place is hot. So guys, that will be all for today. See you next Friday while I bring you another makeup and romance novel. We jam it all together and make it spicy. So any novel you think I would like, drop it in the comment section. If you like today's video, give me a big thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please do well to hit the subscribe button. Until next Friday, bye.